good morning, and welcome to Bold Breakthroughs with Business Experts. My name is Catherine Ann Clayton, and I help bold, driven entrepreneurs learn to launch their own business or their side hustle, make more money, and create time freedom. When they work with me, they go from ideas to profits really, really fast. And today on Bold Breakthroughs with Business Experts, I have a good friend, Tina Collura. I'm going to probably say it wrong, but we met in a similar program together, and she is fabulous at what she does. So, Tina, I'm going to let you go ahead, jump in here, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do to help people.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Catherine Ann. And I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me. So hello, everyone. My name is Tina Collura. And Catherine Ann, you did great on the pronunciation. I am a productivity coach for women who struggle to get stuff done. How many women out there do not even put themselves on a priority list? We are always putting everyone else before ourselves, and we are struggling. We are struggling to get stuff done for ourselves, for our households, for our children. There's just so much in this world to balance. And so I help women balance out what is important. And I always ask my women, how are you managing your PMS? And they're like, what? And I'm like, PMS, your mental state, physical state, and spiritual state. Because if we don't do that, we tend to fall apart. So I'm a wife, I'm a mom, and I'm a boss at everything that I do. And that's what I want to instill in everyone that I work with.
That is awesome. So, and you are a boss at everything you do, and I love that. So talk to me a little bit about, the productivity, and how can somebody that is trying to balance out their life really balance out their life by having productivity scales? Is that possible?
Absolutely. Recently, I was just working with a client who is working 9 to 5. She's going to school. She has a small child who is autistic, and she was ready to give up on her dreams. And I said, no. I'm like, hang on a second. I'm like, let's sit down one Saturday and let's figure out what you have to do in the amount of time that you have to do it. And I managed to find 37 hours in her work week, in the whole week, that she can complete her schoolwork and still have time for herself. So it's very possible. You just need to sit down and organize what you have to do, prioritize what's important, and then find the time to do it.
Absolutely. I think that is really important. I know that when I work with my clients, that's one of the first things that we do is we look at their work week to see what you can let go of and what you can do. And I know that you help people do that. So let me ask you this. What is your ideal client?
My ideal client is corporate women who are trying to climb that corporate ladder, but they tend to forget about everything else around them. And I know that they are doing the best that they can, and they want to succeed in every area of their life. But sometimes things start falling through the cracks for those types of women. And I've been there because I was traveling 4 hours a day to my corporate job, to a job I didn't like. And I had tragedy in my life, Catherine Ann, and it's when I had this tragedy, I went into a slow depression, and then everything around me started falling apart. And so I've been where these women are, and I know what it's like to want to strive for more, but I've also learned that it's important to have balance in your life. Balance time for your kids and time for your husband and time for doing the things that you love. So those are the kind of women I like to work with.
That's awesome. I used to be one of those women. I left corporate to start my own business as well. And so it does. Most of the women that are top of their game in corporate are really fighting for that time freedom, really trying to figure out how to get more time and how to get 28, 29 hours in a 24-hour day. So,
and that's what I say to my clients. I'm like, what would you do with an extra hour a day? I mean, and most of the time we would spend that time trying to run errands or squeeze something in for someone else. But what about ourselves? Like, we tend to forget about taking care of ourselves, right?
Absolutely. We do forget that. And so it's important that you put that self care, that self time, read a book, whatever, into your schedule. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. We were talking about how early we get up in the morning,
We
and
were.
I've been getting up so early in the morning, and after I had kids, I get up even earlier just so that I can have that time to myself, to meditate, to journal, to look at my vision board, to plan for the day, my affirmations, my gratitude statements. I do all of this in a half hour span, but that's something, again, I've programmed myself to do since 2009, 2010, and I think that attributes to why I'm so positive and why I'm so full of energy first thing in the morning.
Right, right. My kids hate me because I wake up, and I've already done my run and done my what I call brain priming and done my gratitude
Yeah.
stuff and they're like, oh, I don't want to go to work, and I'm like, why? It's a great day. So I get it. So let's dive in a little deeper into that morning routine. How
Yeah.
important do you feel creating a morning routine is?
Honestly, Catherine, and routine is important for every aspect of your life. You talk to any amazing coach or athlete or anyone who is successful in this world, and they will tell you that routine is so important. And some people don't like routine and they find that it's too rigid. But you know what? As long as you are doing the good things that you need to do in order to set yourself up for success, routine is key. And you can deviate from the routine every now and then, but in the end, you will always go back to what is right for you and what feels good for you in order to get you to that successful journey that you need to be on.
Absolutely. And I know that when you're creating a routine, that you've got all what I call nuts, negative, undesirable thoughts come in and they jungle with your brain, but you got to just keep going and keep doing what you know you're going to do. And then it just becomes natural to you.
Yes, absolutely. And I gotta tell you, Catherine Ann, whenever I am off my routine, that's usually when I'm not balanced emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. That's why I say those four quadrants in life, those are the wheels that keep my car moving. And when one of those is deflated, that's when I realize, ooh, I'm off balance and I haven't been doing the things that are benefiting me the most. And those things are part of my routine every day.
Absolutely. I think that that is super, super important. So
Yeah.
tell me this. Do you have, I've so enjoyed talking to you. I know that you have value to give out there for the listeners here. And do you have something that you wanted to give for free so that they can really dive into productivity and talk to us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I do this process with my clients where I call it the circle of life balancing act. So that's what I want to give to your clients. I'm going to put the link in the comments for you and your
Perfect.
clients, you and your viewers, where they can do their own assessment of how balanced they are. So I put the four quadrants of life, and then you could fill in whatever other areas of life you want to score yourselves in on a scale of 1 to 10. And that is usually very eye opening for people to say, ooh, I'm not very balanced. And then from there, you can then start diving into setting goals per category in order to start focusing on what is important in order to achieve balance. So I'm going to give that assessment out to you and your viewers for free, Catherine Ann, in hopes that you'll do the exercise and see where you are. Just take a moment. It's literally just a moment to self assess and determine what you could do better in order to achieve balance in your life.
Absolutely. That sounds wonderful. I'm going to download it because I know that, all of these experts that I'm bringing here have really good value. So I'm going to do that. And y'all all know this month we're doing the top 10 secrets to create authority on LinkedIn. So download that as well. Well, but Tina, thank you so much for coming. We appreciate
My
it.
pleasure. Oh, my
And
pleasure.
Great. And welcome. Thank you for attending the Bold Breakthroughs with Business Experts.
Thank you so much for having me,